So, in what other ways can we improve our overall hackathon experience? We'll be covering 7 do's and don'ts when it comes to soft skills and then hard skills. To start off with soft skills, we have communication. Effective communication is a pillar of teamwork. Clearly articulating your ideas and collaborating openly with your team members will help you reach further in whatever project you're taking on. It's important to be honest and straightforward about how things are going in the project or with specific tasks you've taken on. Good practice is also to ask for confirmation if your message has been understood correctly. This will reduce the risk of misunderstandings and will make sure that you're all on the same page. Avoid withholding any important information from the team and try as much as possible not to use any confusing words. Also, when being honest and straightforward, you want to make sure you don't come off as rude, which brings us to the next point. Teamwork, and more specifically, supportive teamwork. Try to keep a positive team dynamic by listening to what others have to say, by sharing responsibilities, and by supporting the team goals. You should be putting the team ahead of yourself and trying to create a comfortable and encouraging environment for your team members. Don't micromanage and avoid controlling the team's workflow. Instead, you should have trust and faith in your team members to contribute effectively. Of course, that doesn't mean you cannot give feedback, but it needs to be supportive and constructive. Because remember, a great project with a dysfunctional team loses a lot of attractive points when it comes to potential investors. But what we do like is adaptability. Quick adaptability is a strength of any team. But on the individual level, being flexible and open to change is needed to meet the evolving requirements of the project and team. And be ready to kill some early concepts as the time constraints become more and more apparent.
Quick break. This video is sponsored by my own company, Immersive Insiders, and we have some really epic news for you. We are launching Europe's biggest in-person XR hackathon, and you are invited. You and 150 other amazing XR creators from all Europe and across the world are invited to Berlin for 4 days of prototyping, meeting amazing people, having good food, being in Berlin, having amazing time basically, and most importantly, potentially getting funded by Meta and our other sponsors to really bring your idea into reality also. Since we only have 150 seats available, of course, I would highly recommend you to act fast, because once you are approved, it is first come, first served. So don't sleep on this. Get ahead and apply now. We're looking forward to meeting you in Berlin, xrcc.events, and there we go. I will see you there, and now let's move on with the video.
Don't resist criticism or feedback. Even if you don't agree with it, be open to receiving it from team members, mentors, and judges, as it might open your eyes to some problems and help you improve. Time management. Make sure to prioritize the tasks based on which is more important. Set some basic milestones and work to meet them during your production. It's good to order these tasks and milestones based on importance, so that when time is running low, you can get rid of the ones that are least important and you'll be already working on the ones that are most important. Make sure to not take on too many tasks or responsibilities, because it can lead to burnout and compromise the quality of the whole project. Next, we have open-mindedness. Try to embrace creativity and innovation in the team. It's really your chance to test some new and crazy ideas and come up with unique solutions. Understanding that you don't have all the answers is key, and you can rely on your teammates for support. Take advantage of the different backgrounds, experiences, and skills that each team member brings, instead of excluding, dividing, and marginalizing team members based on those differences. The more diverse and collaborative the team is, the better the final result. Next, we have determination. It's important to have solid determination, stay positive, and persevere through challenges, setbacks, and failures. Remember that really nothing is going to waste, and the experience is what you make of it. Even if you don't achieve the goals that you were aiming for, you're still learning something and taking away something with you out of the experience. So if things aren't going to plan, don't be negative. Try to stay positive and inspire your team to continue forward. And finally, for soft skills, we have networking. As we previously mentioned in the other chapters, networking can be super beneficial for the team and for yourself. When networking, it's good to not only engage with participants, but also to engage with mentors, judges, industry professionals, and so on. Of course, this will give you experience when it comes to socializing, and will also hopefully open valuable doors and opportunities for you in the future. Be careful not to overload on networking, because you don't want to be focusing on just that at the expense of your team's progress and success in the hackathon. So you'll need to strike a balance between building connections and progressing in your project. What about hard skills? First, we have frequent testing. It's essential to frequently test your project through builds to make sure that it works and to avoid last-minute project-breaking discoveries. Please don't delay or neglect testing, because trust me, you don't want to end up with a non-functional project 15 minutes before the hackathon deadline. I would even go as far as to say allocate time, specific time during the day to build and to test, so that you get that out of the way. Next is team composition / using team skills. Make sure to use your team strength to your advantage. So if someone knows how to do a specific thing and they would like to do that, then make sure to use that skill and divide the tasks between you so that it is done in the best way possible. So if someone knows how to do this better, maybe they should take care of it. But also you want to keep in mind that not everyone wants to do the same things or learn the same things. And I know that when you have a team with so many talented people with many different skills, you tend to want to use all of them. But in a general rule, I would say don't overcomplicate your solutions, keep them simple, and only use what makes sense toward your project and your idea. Then we have efficiency. You should consider leveraging the different tools that might be around you and using tech such as AI when it makes sense to accelerate the process of ideation and production. And when I'm talking about tools, I'm talking both physical and digital. Digital can come in the form of assets, free assets or paid assets that you can use. Now, of course, you need to make sure that you're following the guidelines of the competition. Sometimes these things might not be allowed for use. In any case, it's good to not over-rely on all of these tools, because while it can accelerate your production, not knowing the inner workings of all of these might hinder your project's flexibility. Of course, it can also affect how innovative you can be with the project. For number 4, we have prototyping. The faster you iterate and test your ideas, the faster you'll be able to refine your project concept. So avoid wasting too much time prototyping and try not to reinvent solutions from scratch to some problems that already have solutions from tools that you might have access to. Number 5, we have documentation. It's good to maintain a clear and organized documentation of the design and the choices you make along the way to end up with a final idea, because it will help you understand your project, it will help you collaborate, and it will also be the base for your presentation later on when you might want to present it to someone else. Having this clean documentation will also help you with not overcrowding your project with unnecessary features and functionalities. When you have everything laid out, it becomes a bit easier to pick and choose which things you want to focus on to create your minimum viable product, which is the thing that you will be presenting and hopefully winning the hackathon with. Next, we have version control. I can't stress how important it is to use version control systems such as Git to maintain your project. Not only does it make it easier for you to collaborate together on the same project, but it allows you to keep track of the changes that were made and to safeguard your project so it doesn't get deleted or lost. And something kind of related to version control, make sure not to be too lazy with maintaining code quality. It's good to keep your code readable and organized so that anyone who's working with you has an easy time understanding it and building upon it. And I know that during hackathons, when you're short on time, code quality is not the most essential part. It's probably the part that gets sacrificed first, but still it's good to have it at least readable so that later on when you come back to it, it's easy to build on. And you never know, there might be a recruiter that's looking for good code quality and you missed your chance by not maintaining it. Finally, we have methodologies. Now, this is something that kind of encapsulates everything that we talked about so far, but it's recommended to use agile development methodologies such as Scrum and tools like Miro and Trello to organize your tasks, iterate on ideas, keep track of progress, and adapt to the changing requirements during your hackathon. All of that while keeping in mind the constraints of this specific hackathon so you don't find yourself short on time and you don't find yourself disqualified because of a misunderstanding. Awesome. I hope you took some notes, and in the next chapter we'll go over how to come up with winning project ideas. Stay tuned.